Our second discussant is Professor Tandi, Edda Tandi Lwoga. He's a rector at CBE, College of Business Education. She holds position as a rector for quite, and Professor Lwoga has published more than 100 publications. Professor Lwoga is an expert in information science. Swali langu la kwanza liende kwa Professor Lwoga ambaye ni mbobezi kwenye masuala ya information science. Professor Lwoga, tumeona presentation ya Professor Mtebe hapa. Ametuambia kuhusu open science. Sasa tungependa kujua, je, are there any misconception about open science? Kwa sababu wengine wanatafikiria ni data, wengine wanafikiria kama profesa anavyoongezea kuna masuala ya facilities na whatever vinginevyo. Sasa are there any misconception about open science, na kama ipo ni ipi? And then I also like to hear from you why advancing open science in Tanzania is essential. Karibu sana.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Professor Mtebe, thank you, Dr. Huda. Yes, as far as open science is concerned, there are a lot of misconceptions, and professors highlighted some of them, where some people have been worried that why do we make data publicly available? And that might also inhibit the quality or the accessibility of data, and people are worried if the data is openly available, that means it can be misused as well. But with open science access, Professor Mtebe talked about institutional repositories in which data can also be shared in a controlled environment. And actually, before anyone is able to access the data, they might need to consult the author so that they're able to access it. But there are also misconceptions that having made available research outputs, it might lead to competition among scientists. But that is also a misconception, because once you make the data available, the research available, you enable the research to move forward. You enable the science to progress much further, because people are able to access data, they're able to access publications when the paper is being submitted through the peer review, people are able to access it, they're also able to improve doing currently. So that also enables science to move forward, to even move faster, and that is also another misconception. And another misconception is open science is more aligned to natural science, aligned to science and technology. But we are also seeing open science being applicable in social science and other areas, other disciplines. So it's a multidisciplinary issue, and any researcher can use open science to advance accessibility of their research. And another misconception that we are seeing, that there are issues concerned intellectual property rights. But with open access, it's very easy for scientists actually to license their own work. As soon as they publish, the researchers are the ones who retain the copyright. So that gives them the right to also ensure that the science is their research is being reused and it's made available to everyone, because they're the ones who retain the license. So with open science, it has enabled our research to move even further, to be easily accessible. As we know, in our African environment, most of the research that is being published, you have to pay in order to access it. Is under subscription. So with open science, it has enabled first researchers to have exclusive rights to license their own work and made it available. And when we look into our environment, why should we adopt open science? Why should we talk about open science? And I would really like to thank COSTECH for having this panel, because this is one of the ways that we can more talk about it, and the researchers, they can adopt and use it. So why do we need it? First, it enables access to knowledge, of which, when we talk about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, it was not easily available to have access to it, because most of the research is made available under subscription. And when we look at the data, the research that was published by, a report that was published by UNESCO in 2021, it showed in Africa, only 23% of African researchers were able to access the research that is being published. And when we look on even our capacity to publish, when we look on the UNESCO report of 2023, it shows African researchers only contribute to 2% of the world's publication. That means even when what we publish very little, but we do a lot of research that is remaining in our shelves, it's remaining on our laptops, it's remaining in our library. So open science is there to help us even to make available what we have already researched that is made available through our libraries, through our laptops, but we can easily make it available via open science. And even because we end up presenting in conferences, but to publish in journals, very few researchers are able to make up to that level. But with open science and repositories, we're able to ensure that the knowledge that we publish is made available and readily available for use. And we're also seeing institutions, as Prof. Mtebe showed us, a lot of universities, over 20 universities have their repositories. And we also have the national initiative by COSTECH that is also helping to make this research more accessible. But with open science, it's also enabling collaboration and innovation. And here we are talking about open data. Open Data Africa portal that is also has a portal for each country, and we also have a for Tanzania. It's enabled accessibility of our data, especially from the National Bureau of Statistics. Researchers are now able to even do more secondary analysis and see what has already been done, and then they can improve it. And we're also seeing applicability of research in development and economic areas, because nowadays it's easy for scientists when they publish their data, and it can be used even for economic issues. We are seeing, for example, data that Tanzania Meteorological Agency is being applicable for smallholder farmers to give them different indications as far as climate change, climate or weather is concerned, and then they are able to apply it. But we are also seeing applicability of research outputs or scientific data also to enable innovation. And these are like for examples from Rwanda, where we are seeing that the research that has been done is being used by fintech to actually produce or to develop more mobile apps, and it's been enabling for the country to move forward. But we are also seeing that the citizens are able to be engaged with research as far as open science is concerned. So I think we need to talk about it in conferences like this, but we also need a national policy. Also, it's a call for our institutions as well to also establish repositories. And I'd like to thank Professor. Here we have from Professor Msofe from the Ministry of Science and Technology. I'm sure we'll also encourage our institutions to have this policy so that we can encourage our researchers to open up access to their research and also apply it as well. And also we need to build capacity and also establish more open access journals. Thank you.